A very good morning to you. Objective Geology, multiple choice questions with answers. This is the solved question paper of Andhra Pradesh Research Common Entrance Test question paper. And I hope this solved 2025 question paper is useful for various competitive exams like CSIR, NET, GATE, GSI and other competitive exams. Welcome to set 3. Coming to the first question. The instrument used to record seismic waves is called, very simple question. The instrument used for recording earthquake waves is the A. Barometer, B. Seismograph, C. Thermometer and D. Magnetometer. Obviously, B. Seismograph is the correct option. The instrument used for recording earthquake waves is the seismograph, also known as seismometer, which detects the measures ground motion from the earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and other seismic sources, producing a record called a seismogram. Next question. Biogas mainly contains A. Hydrogen, B. Carbon dioxide, C. Methane, D. Nitrogen. The correct option goes as methane. Biogas mainly contains methane and carbon dioxide along with the trace amounts of other gases like hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen and hydrogen, which are produced from anaerobic breakdown of organic waste. So biogas mainly contains methane, that is roughly around 50 to 70%. Next question. Quaternary is divided into A. Archean and Proterozoic, B. Pleistocene and Holocene, C. Cambrian and Ordovician, and D. Jurassic and Cretaceous. The Quaternary period, that is the Earth's most recent period, is divided into two epochs. The earlier Pleistocene, that is the Ice Age with major glaciations, and the current Holocene, that means the stable, warm interglacial time since the last Ice Age has indeed started about 11,700 years ago. Quaternary is divided into Pleistocene and Holocene. B is the correct option. Next question. Cephalic fossils include A. Glossopteris, B. Trilobite, C. Mammalian fossils and D. Numuli. Cephalic fossils include mammalian fossils. Cephalic fossils are incredibly rich in mammals, representing a diverse array of extinct species, including the early primates like Sivapithecus, Ramapithecus, and numerous elephants, giraffes, rhinos, big cats, giant otters, hippos, and various bovids. So these are also known as cattle relatives and rodents, making them crucial for understanding mammalian evolution in South Asia. Cephalic fossils include mammalian fossils. C is the correct option. Next question. The average salinity of ocean water is A. 25%, B. 30%, C. 35%, and D. 40%. The correct option goes as C. 35%. The average salinity of ocean water is indeed around 35%, or these are parts per thousand, meaning there are about 35 grams of salt in every 1000 grams of seawater, though it varies regionally from about 33 parts per thousand to 38 parts per thousand due to factors like evaporation and river input. So the average salinity of ocean water is 35%. C is the correct option. Next question. Isostasy refers to A. Earthquake magnitude, B. Magnetic field generation, C. Equilibrium of Earth's crust, and D. Wind movement. Isostasy refers to equilibrium of Earth's crust. Isostasy refers to the state of gravitational equilibrium between the Earth's rigid outer layer, the lithosphere, and the denser, more fluid-like underlying mantle. Next question. Microfossil assemblages reflect A. Water depth and paleotemperature, B. Fault zones, C. Lithologic changes only, and D. None of the above. Microfossil assemblages, they reflect water depth and paleotemperature. Microfossil assemblages are critical scientific tools because they reflect the characteristics of ancient environments, climate conditions, water depth, salinity, and the age of the surrounding sedimentary rocks. The study of these tiny fossils, called micropaleontology, it provides valuable insights that are used in various fields, especially the oil and gas industry and paleoceanography. Next question. Elastic deformation is A. Permanent, B. Reversible, C. Irreversible, and D. None of the above. Elastic deformation is reversible. Elastic deformation is the temporary reversible change in an object's shape or size that occurs when a force is applied. So when the force is removed, the object returns to its original form which is possible because the material's atoms are only being stretched or compressed and these are not permanently displaced. So elastic deformation is reversible. B is the correct option. Next question. The boundary between the crust and mantle is called A. Gutenberg discontinuity, B. Mohorovičić discontinuity, C. Conrad discontinuity, and D. Lehmann discontinuity. Next question. Isotopic systematics helps in A. Age dating of mineral deposits, B. Sediment transport, C. Ocean circulation, D. Structural analysis. Isotopic systematic helps in age dating of mineral deposits. Isotope systematics, the study of the natural variations in the relative abundances of isotopes, is a powerful analytical tool which is used to provide crucial insights into the Earth's processes, past environments, and various scientific fields. Next question. The Gulf Stream is A. Cold current, B. Warm current, C. Deep current, and D. Seasonal current. The Gulf Stream is a warm current. The Gulf Stream is a strong, warm ocean current that originates in the Gulf of Mexico and flows across the Atlantic Ocean. It influences the climate of eastern United States, Canada, and Western Europe by transporting warm water northward, making coastal areas, especially in Europe, milder than they would otherwise be. So it is a major part of the global thermohaline circulation system. The Gulf Stream is a warm current. Next question. The point at which gravity is balanced on the Earth's crust floats is called A. Moho, B. Lithosphere, C. Isostatic equilibrium, and D. Seismic zone. So the correct option goes as isostatic equilibrium. The point at which gravity is balanced on the Earth's crust floats is called as the isostatic point or the state of isostasy. This concept it is often referred to as the theory of isostasy. Next question. The average thickness of the continental crust is A. 5 kilometers, B. 10 kilometers, C. 35 kilometers, and D. 100 kilometers. The correct option goes as a C. 35 kilometers. The average thickness of the continental crust is approximately 35 to 40 kilometers. However, its thickness varies significantly, ranging from about 30 kilometers in some areas to over 70 kilometers under large mountain ranges such as the Himalayas. Next question. Carbon isotope ratios delta C13 in microfossils reflect A. Productivity and carbon cycle changes, B. Magnetic reversals, C. Sediment compaction, and D. Pressure. The correct option goes as A. Productivity and carbon cycle changes. Carbon isotope ratios delta C13 in microfossils, it reflects past environmental conditions and biological processes, including the isotopic composition of ancient water or atmosphere, the types of photosynthesis used by the organisms, and the extent of organic matter burial and remineralization. So carbon isotope ratios delta C13 in microfossils reflect productivity and carbon cycle changes. Next question. Fluvial terraces in quaternary landscapes indicate A. Relative sea level changes and tectonic uplift, B. Only glacial erosion, C. Marine transgression, and D. Coal formation. Fluvial terraces in quaternary landscapes are important archives of past environmental change, and they serve as key indicators of interplay between climatic fluctuations, tectonic activity, and base level changes. They record fundamental unsteadiness in the vertical incision and aggradation rates of a river channel over time. So fluvial terraces in quaternary landscapes indicate relative sea level changes and tectonic uplift. Next question. Hydrothermal processes commonly form deposits of A. Limestone, B. Coal, C. Gold, and D. Bauxite. Hydrothermal processes are a primary way gold deposits form, involving hot, mineral-rich water circulating deep in the earth, dissolving gold, and then precipitating it as veins or replacements when conditions like temperature, pressure change, creating a major deposit types like epithermal, orogenic, and Carlin type gold ores. Hydrothermal processes commonly form deposits of gold. C is the correct option. Next question. Which planet has the biggest number of natural satellites? A. Earth, B. Saturn, C. Jupiter, and D. Uranus. The correct option goes as B, Saturn. Saturn has the most natural satellites in our solar system, holding the record with over 140 confirmed moons, surpassing Jupiter, which has fewer, though both gas giants have dozens more tiny moonlets. The exact count fluctuates as new discoveries are confirmed, but Saturn consistently leads with figures around 146 in recent years, including its famous large moons like Titan. So Saturn has the biggest number of natural satellites. B is the correct option. Next question. The mineral olivine is an example of A. Mesosilicate, B. Inosilicate, C. Phyllosilicate, and D. Tectosilicate. The mineral olivine is an example of mesosilicate. The mineral olivine is an example of an iso or orthosilicate with isolated SiO4 tetrahedra, a common ferromagnesian mineral found in mafic rocks on the Earth's mantle, known for its green color and lack of cleavage. So it represents ionic substitution or solid solution between magnesium and iron. Next question. Deforestation primarily leads to A. Reduced rainfall and soil erosion, B. Increased biodiversity, C. More carbon absorption, and D. Ozone formation. Deforestation primarily leads to reduced rainfall and soil erosion. Deforestation primarily leads to climate change, biodiversity loss, and soil erosion. It increases greenhouse gas emissions because fewer trees are available to absorb carbon dioxide, and the burning of cleared forests releases more. It also destroys habitats, leading to the extinction of countless species and leaves soil exposed, making it more susceptible to erosion and landslides. Next question. Diffusion in minerals is enhanced by A. High temperature and fluid presence, B. Low temperature, C. Pressure decrease, and D. Sedimentation. Diffusion in minerals is enhanced by high temperature and fluid presence. Diffusion in minerals it is enhanced by several key factors like primarily high temperature, the presence of water or other volatile species, and the concentration of defects in the crystal lattice. Hope you have followed the content and the questions. See you in the next video. Hope you can subscribe to Explore Geosciences.